Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, sorry I didn't do a live broadcast today at 12 noon, but I am going to be doing an interview at 4 o'clock, and I will be live also tonight with Mike from around the world at 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Just been just working on my physical health right now and just didn't have the energy. I do want to do a couple videos, though. It's important. And right now, the United States claims China is hiding a military spy scientist in the San Francisco Consulate. Beijing calls this a bias motivated of harassment. But remember, in Houston, Trump's administration said, look, China's spying on us using their embassy and using their consulates, actually, in Houston. And he ordered that thing to be shut down. Well, when he did, the Chinese staff took tons of paper out and started burning it in trash barrels. The fire started raging. The fire department showed up. The police department showed up. And these guys were trying to burn documents. So it's getting really crazy right now. Folks, let me put a shout out right now for noblegoldinvestment.com, for noblegoldinvestment.com. Listen, you know we all need some cheering up at the moment. Look at how things are going. What better way to do that than to celebrate the 4th of July in the month of July? But what if always, it's great time to let your hair down, enjoy yourself. But what if you could extend the 4th of July for the rest of your life, a celebration based on something you did this year? I mean, that might sound a little far-fetched, but wait a minute. Well, what if your financial worries could actually just go away? Get your money out of the stock market maybe and put it in a safe IRA, gold-backed or silver-backed, whichever way you want to go. Look, gold's up 16% this year, and silver's even higher, but the stock market's lost 10% for the year. NobleGoldInvestment.com, www.noblegoldinvestment.com can help you celebrate this month with a free 5-ounce pure silver America the Beautiful coin. Very rare, very limited edition. It's 5 ounces of 99.999% silver called America the Beautiful. And you can have this coin, this collector's item, for free. It's worth $150. You can have it for free if you qualify for an IRA at noblegoldinvestment.com. Just be sure you pick up the phone and call them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And use my name. Tell them Paul Begley sent you. Paul Begley sent you. And if you qualify for an IRA, you'll get this coin for free. America the Beautiful. 5 ounces. It's heavy. 5 ounces of pure silver. Wow. Great deal. Great opportunity. Let me put this shout out right now to all of you to tell you that things is really heating up in the conflict between the United States and China. Now, here's what's happening. The U.S. claims that China hides a military spy scientist at the San Francisco Consulate. Beijing calls it a bias-motivated harassment. Also, U.S. prosecutors have accused the Chinese consulate in San Francisco of harboring a scientist wanted for the visa fraud. Beijing said Washington is using any excuse to harass the Chinese scholars. But a Chinese medical scientist suspected of obtaining a U.S. visa on false pretense may be hiding in the Chinese consulate in San Francisco, California, according to the FBI and according to a court filing. Asked about the claim on Thursday, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesman accused the United States of being biased against the Chinese scholars and using any pretext to harass them. For some time, the U.S. has held ideological bias to continuously surveil, harass, and even abruptly detain arbitrarily Chinese students and scholars in the United States, Wang Wenbin said during a daily briefing. We urge, they said, the United States to stop using any excuse to restrict, harass, or oppress Chinese students and researchers in the United States. But the person in the focus of now is Yang Tang, who worked at the University of California, Davis. Last month, she was charged with visa fraud after U.S. prosecutors accused her of pretending to be a civilian while actually being a member of the Chinese military. In court papers filed on Monday, in a case against the Chinese scientist, allegations against Tang were called in as an example of a similar crime. Among other things, the complainant said that after her home was searched on June 20th, Tang went to the Chinese consulate in San Francisco, where the FBI assesses she has remained. She has remained in that consulate since June 20th, and was the first media outlet, Access was, to notice the alleged involvement of the Chinese diplomatic mission and report on it. Now, the filing, which argues for keeping a Stanford neuroscientist named Chen Song in custody, cities two other, they're saying that there's two other recent cases in addition to Tang's, in which Chinese researchers were accused of hiding their military connections to gain entrance into the United States. The crackdown appears to be part of Washington's effort to root out the Chinese scientists and students from U.S. universities. The U.S. government claims many Chinese nationals are on a mission to steal American intellectual property under the guise of academic work. And we know this is true. They've been doing this for years, quite honest. Now, Trump is just finally saying, why are we letting this happen? in the accusation of harboring a wanted fraudster was revealed just after the United States ordered China to shut down their consulate in Houston within 72 hours, accusing it of being involved in espionage. President Donald Trump said more Chinese consulates may be forced to shut down as well. So Trump is cracking down on Chinese spying, Chinese espionage. Do you see how this has escalated the entire presidency, actually, of Donald J. Trump? He said it before he got elected. Why are we letting China buy all our property? Why are we letting China take all of our manufacturing base out of America? Why are we letting China process all of our pharmaceutical drugs? Why is China buying up all of our meat processing plants? Why is China stealing, and how are they stealing all of our intellectual property? And then he went in after China with the trade war, saying, look, it's way out of balance, way out of balance, way out of balance. You're charging high tariffs on our stuff. We're charging only 2% tariff on your stuff. President Trump started raising these tariffs by 25% on selected items. He's been doing this periodically. China hates the ideal. A lot of factories have moved back into the United States, creating lots of jobs. Our economy, Trump cut the taxes. That fueled an economic growth. He did away with a lot of bureaucracy, again, allowing for the entrepreneur spirit to rise up, and the United States economy exploded for the first 3 years of his presidency, with the highest amount of people working in the history of this country, lower taxes, higher wages being earned, higher productivity, more high-paying jobs, one thing after another, while more U.S. manufacturing plants set up, more products being made in America, America first, while China, their imports started slowing down due to the tariffs, which was Trump's way of shifting. China took to this very negatively and have basically become more aggressive militarily. They're expanding their military bases and presence all over the world and beginning to squeeze and threaten Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Micronesia, all of these, Japan, trying to take islands and more waters away from surrounding nations. This has put, United States has been sending in more battleships into different locations to claim international waters. China has been buzzing them with planes and ships, and there's been several U.S. Navy ships crashed into or accidents with other ships that were eventually found out to be controlled under Chinese ownership. Even if it was a different country's boat, the owners were from China. These were deliberately crashing into U.S. Navy ships, including the USS John McCain, where 10 of our bravest, brightest sailors were killed, including Logan Palmer, whose mother is a member of our online church. And so there's a lot going on, guys. I'm telling you, this has been a silent shifting of war. But now Trump has moved it to another level. He's tired of the espionage. He's tired of the spying. He's tired of the stealing of intellectual property. And he's now shutting down the apparatus in which the Chinese operate. But this is in a diplomatic area, which now, this is what happens, guys, when nations get ready to go to war. There's a lot of pushing and shoving economically and shipping and all of these things in trade. But when they start shutting down the consulate or the embassies, or they start arresting people from both sides, you're going to see it happen pretty soon. They're going to start arresting Americans in China and start charging them with espionage. This will start. And as this intensifies and the diplomatic channels start to break down, military options start to ratchet up. So I want you to all to stay awake, stay alive, stay focused. And if you read the Bible, you will see that the 200 million man army that's talked about in the scriptures that have to come over the Euphrates River actually has to be, the only nation in the world that can do that, there's only two of them, could be China or India. And I don't see India doing it. It's really about China. And so we're watching it now. The sides, people are starting to choose sides. It's starting to get ugly. It's going to get ugly, okay? It's going to get ugly. And the Bible does refer to a third world war. There's going to be all kinds of drones involved and all kinds of weapons. Let me just share it with you. If you go to the 9th chapter of the book of Revelation, it tells you that this angel with the comes down from heaven and opens the key to the bottomless pit and releases these, out of the smoke comes the locust. But these locusts are not like a locust we have. They're like scorpions, but they're also made of metal. They have helmets and breastplates of iron and metal and pieces of gold and all of that. And now we know, I mean, I've been researching now how that China has these little bitty dragonfly drones, little bitty hummingbird drones, little mosquito looking drones. They have locust drones, and so they can send them out in massive amounts. They can surveillance their AI. They can do facial recognition. They can assassinate one individual or a group of people in swarms. This is a whole different ball game, guys. I'm going to tell you all about that. I'm going to do another video right now on the 200 million man army. World War III. It's coming. It's in Revelation chapter 9. It's coming. We've been talking a lot about Gog and Magog. It's coming. And we've been talking a lot about Armageddon down the road. That's coming. But there's also, we've been talking about Psalms 83. That's in process. But there's also Revelation 9. World War III. I'll be right back in just a moment with another video. Are you serious? Give your life to Jesus Christ. It's getting intense.